everyone. So today we are going to do yoga for shoulder release, for back care, and some hip tension release. And then just some full body stretching. There's going to be mostly yoga. There's going to be a few different Pilates moves that I'm going to throw in that I think are beneficial for this. So I like to start this one. We're going to start on our backs. And now, at home, if you have one of these great foam rollers, you're going to just set it out lengthwise. And if you're tall, you might need like a pillow or a block to support your head. Because I'm not tall, I can get my whole self supported on here. So what you do is you're going to come down towards the very edge, so your butt is going to be on this. And you're going to lower yourself down with control and just align the foam roller with your vertebra. And you relax your head on it. And like I said, if you're tall and your head comes off of it, you can place a pillow, a couple blocks, just so you can keep your whole spine supported, your head, your neck. And you just lie here like this, with those chest open. You can relax your arms down at the sides. You can take them into the cactus arms. That really provides a lot of opening there. Overhead. With the legs, you can just keep, so you really don't want to stretch your legs out like this. I've had students do that, and then I have to tell them not to do that because this puts a lot of strain on the lower back. So what you want to do is at least bend the knees and keep your feet flat on the mat with bent knees. You can do that. If you want to do get a little hip stretch in there and this feels okay for you, you can do an open-legged reclined butterfly like this, or again, you can take your feet a little bit more out towards the edges of the mat and then just let the knees collapse in on each other. If you're longer legged, you can go out a little farther. I can't go that far. So you can just be right here just like this. Now, if you don't have a foam roller, and I used to do with my students when I used to teach in the health clubs and the yoga studios, we always had tons of blocks. So you can do this with 2 blocks. That's how I used to have my students do it. So what you would do, and you want to make sure that when you lay over the block, it's right here in the upper back between the shoulder blades. You don't want it down lower on the lumbar spine. So you really want to make sure that you're getting it aligned properly. And you just come down over that. And then you can place the second block behind the back of your head to support your head and neck. And again, the arms just open. Again, you can take this reclined butterfly like I'm doing. You just plant the feet on the mat. You can let the knees collapse in on each other. And you just start taking those deep yogic breaths. So this, again, is opening up the heart center. It's releasing any tension in the shoulders. Or lastly, if you're at home and you don't have any of these, what you can do is I took 2 like smaller, these are kind of like throw blankets, and I folded them and rolled them up tight into this log. And from here, you can, again, coming up on it, laying over that, and then with a block, I'm going to use a block. You can obviously use a pillow at home, just to open up. And again, butterfly, just feet planted, or knees collapsing in on each other. And again, those deep yogic breaths, expanding the belly, ballooning that stomach up, just filling the whole abdominals with breath. close your eyes and then close the door to the outside world and just come into your own yogic space. This is your time. It's to be here, to be present, to be in your bodies, doing something good for you. And if you work at a desk and you're hunched over a computer for many hours a day, this was great just to do this just for a few minutes, like every day. Don't take a break from your desk, do it at the end of the day, but just kind of to open up and release all that tension that you may have accumulated throughout your work. All right, so from here, we're just going to kind of roll off of our props and just set your props aside and then find your way back to your back. And then we're going to just start to warm up our lumbar spine. Here I'm going to lift my, so you can see, like right here, I can get my hand through because I'm in my natural S-curve. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our abs, and we're going to just gently use our ab strength, our lower back strength, just to press that space out. And then release. So it's very small, it's very subtle, this compression. Some people like to, see how I'm moving all throughout my hips here? You don't want to do that. You want to really focus on just using this core strength. So it's small, it's subtle, it's controlled. And then release. 3. 4. 5. 6. We're just going to do 10. 7. 8. 9. And 10. So again, I made a little cheat sheet because I don't want to forget anything. So from here, take your feet out, just out towards the edges of the mat. We're going to do windshield wiper legs. So what you do, take your arms out to a T, anchor your shoulders down, and then just, so you're just starting to warm up and release the lower spine, but just like windshield wipers, so your legs go back and forth. All right, and then from here, bring your knees in, just place your hands on top of your knees, and we're just going to do little hip circles. Just starting to open up the hip flexors, releasing the hips. So we're going to do a few rounds in one direction, and then come back to the center, and just take them in the opposite direction. And just continue to breathe. All right, and from here, roll to one side, and push up to a seated position. So we're going to come into a comfortable seated position. If this is not comfortable for you, obviously find a way to sit that is comfortable. Take your block or cushion, sitting up on that. And then we're just gonna take our shoulders, roll them up to our ears, and then open our heart center and drawing our shoulder blades down our backs. So again, going up and rolling down, opening up, and just a couple more. And then start to float your arms overhead, tracing your midlines down, just warming up our shoulders. And then go ahead and drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Just let the weight of your head open up. And if you want to take your opposite arm and just drape it over, but don't add any pressure. So don't use your arm strength to pull you deeper into it. Just let the weight of your arm. So just a little subtle. And then release, and left ear to left shoulder. And again, it's just the weight of your head, releasing any tension in the neck. And again, if you want to use the arm just for a little extra weight, but don't put any muscle into it. Release, drawing the head up, and now just take the chin to the chest. Alright, so just sitting up nice and tall for some seated cat-cows. So from here, we're going to draw our belly button towards our spine, just relaxing our shoulders, dropping our chin towards our chest, and then release, and coming into that seated cow, pulling our shoulders back, drawing our shoulder blades down, opening our heart center. And then release back to our cat. And just breathing deeply. And back to our cow. Now coming back to neutral. We'll take a nice giant side bend. And from here, just walk yourselves all the way over to the opposite side. And then take the side bend. if you need to put a block or a pillow or something back there to place your other hand on just to help you sit up taller, go ahead and do that. And then unwind and go to the opposite side. Coming into butterfly. So from here, only draw your heels in towards your body is what's comfortable for your knees and for your back. So if you're starting to feel any back strain or knee strain here as you draw these in closer to your body, take the feet out. And you may be all the way out here. I mean, that's fine. And then you can just start to fold forward. Or if you can get them in closer to your body and you're already feeling like a nice hip opener here, just stay up like this. But if you need to go a little deeper, you can fold forward here. So there's many variations again. So I'm going to go through it one more time. So way out like this, and if you're getting an opening already, that's great. If you want to fold forward here, to go a little deeper, or as you start to draw your legs in closer to your body, and now you're feeling a good opening just like this, just sit up and just be up like this, or drop in. And again, I'm going to warn you about your joints. So anytime we're doing any of these movements, if you've got pain anywhere, knees, wrists, shoulders, elbows, lower back, hips, anywhere, any of your joints, just don't do it. Because it's okay to feel like a little bit of, you don't want pain, but if you're feeling a little discomfort in the muscle because you're releasing the muscle, that's fine. So a little discomfort in the muscles is fine. Any pain or even a little discomfort in the joints is not acceptable. Okay, so from here, we're going to do a couple of shoulder releases. And when we're doing these shoulder releases, if you can sit in this type of posture, this cow face, you can do that. However, if that bothers you, don't sit like that. Just find a comfortable seated position to be in and just do, because right now it's more important because we're to do the shoulder releases than to do the hip stuff, because we are going to do more hip stuff. So if you can comfortably sit like this, go for it. If maybe you just need to extend one leg out and you find like if you just cross this over just right above the knee like this, and you feel like an opening but it's still comfortable for you to sit like this, go ahead and do that. So, and for this, you may need a strap, a belt for the second one. You won't need it for the first one. So the first one we're going to do is just our eagle arms. So extend the arms out, take the right arm, hook it under the left, and we just start to slowly float our arms up towards the ceiling. And just go as high as you can. So just very slowly, getting a nice shoulder release here. Floating those arms up. And then when you get up to the point you can't go any farther, you're going to just, again, moving very slowly, start to draw the arms back down. And then release, take them back to a T. This time cross the opposite arm, so the left arm goes under. It may feel completely different from one side to the other, which is probably more common than not. And again, slowly start to float the arms up. But now if you're sitting and you've got one leg crossed over the other, you might want to rock back and switch it around. So yeah, this one side totally different than the other. And start to float your arms up. Because usually we're stronger on one side, and sometimes the side that you're stronger on, you have less flexibility. So you're sometimes more flexible on one side and then stronger on the other. And as the arms float up, you start to feel that opening through the shoulders. Breathing, moving as slowly as you can. And when you get to the point where you can't go any higher, you're just going to keep breathing through this movement and lower the arms all the way back down. And then release. So from here, I have to turn around so you can see what I'm doing. All right. Now, if you're one of these people that can reach back and you can grab your fingers, your hands, interlace them, get like that, go ahead and grab do it. If you can't, you're like me, I could never do it. Not ever. So, I always had to use a strap. So again, and then you get your strap, and you can just start to walk your hands up the strap as high as you can, and you get to the point you can't go any farther, that's your place. And you just stay there, and we're just going to hold this and breathe. And just sit however you like. You don't have to sit the way I'm sitting. Sit in whatever comfortable for you. This is great to also do at your desk, especially if you're working at the computer all day. The one that we did before this too, the eagle arms. So releasing throughout the day when you get that built up shoulder tension from bending over a computer. And then go ahead and release. And then we're going to switch sides. So taking your strap in the opposite hand, throwing that over. And again, if you can reach back and grab one hand to the other, do it. Otherwise, do what I'm doing. And then just release. And so like I said before about one side feeling very different, this side is totally different for me. It's like I'm not even in the same body that different. And you can probably see here too that I have like a much wider grip than I did on the other side. you start to feel like you're opening up a little bit, you can again start to walk the hands. But just listen to the body, be mindful. And release. So setting your strap aside. Now we're going to come up onto our hands and knees. And we're going to make sure our wrists and our shoulders are on the same plane, the same line. We're going to spread our fingers, press our palms firmly into the mat, and then place our fingers on the mat, distributing our weight evenly throughout our entire hand and fingers. Knees are hip distance apart. Tops of the feet pressed into the mat. And we're just going to inhale into our cow. And then exhale to our cat. Inhale, cow. Exhaling, cat. It's a shout out to all the healthcare workers, the essential workers, grocery store clerks, bus drivers, delivery people. Now setting up for our spinal balance. So if you just need to take this by just taking the one leg straight behind you and keeping both hands on the mat for balance, go for it. So I have my right leg extended, but if you want to extend the left arm, remember opposite, right leg, left arm, straight out, focus the gaze on the mat, and breathe. And then release. And the opposite. So taking the left leg straight behind you. If you stay just like this, it's perfect. If you want to extend the opposite arm, go for it. Right arm, left leg. And then release. And from here, we're just going to take some like big body circles. So you kind of pushing back towards the right, then circling the hips over to the left. When coming up, you just come slightly forward, pushing back and around. We'll just do a few rounds in one direction, and then we'll switch directions. So Coming back to neutral, and now starting towards the left side, circling down. And remember to breathe. You never want to hold your breath through any of this. All right, so from here, just gonna lower ourselves all the way down onto our stomachs. And then I'm gonna take our feet, not all the way out to the edges of our mat, but just about hip distance apart. And then go ahead and press the tops of the feet into the mat, lifting up strong through the abdominals. So just because we're lying at our stomachs, we still want to think about pulling the belly button up towards the spine, supporting our lower backs. You can leave your arms at your side, or you can leave them right here. But we're not using our arms at all. We're doing just cobra lifts. And remember, like I said before in another video, if you've seen it, snakes don't have arms, so I leave mine at my side. Plant your forehead on the mat, and then just start to roll up with back strength, using your side body strength, and then lowering down. And only come up as high as what's comfortable for you. We're going to do 10, coming up for 2. 3. 4. Remember to breathe. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And last one. And lower down. You just place one cheek down on the mat. Ooh, just take a little rock. All right. And now we're setting up for, we're going to do a bunch of different variations of the locust. So first, we're going to start with just the single leg locust. So from here, you can leave the arms at the sides, or if you want to take one hand under the thigh and use that to help support you, you can do that. So we're going to just do 3 lifts on each side. You can keep the chin on the mat, keep your forehead down, whatever's comfortable for you. So coming into the first single locust lift and lowering down 1. And only come up, you don't have to come up to the height that I come to. This is all the farther you can get. That's great. Just be wherever you are. But be mindful of your back. So when you're doing this, if you feel any pain in the back, you want to lower your leg a little. Coming up for 2. And 3. Left leg. Again, be mindful of the back. Lifting 1. 2. And 3. So here we're going to add the arms. So, but it's alternate arm to leg. So I'm going to extend my right I'm going to extend my left arm out, and I'm going to lift my right leg and my left arm at the same time. Coming up from one, and again being mindful of the back, and lowering down. 2, and 3. Now extending your right arm out, lifting the right arm with the left leg, coming up. 1, 2, and 3. Now full locust. So both arms extend out, and we're just coming up and lifting everything. 1, 2, and 3. From here, we're going to do what's called the Pilates swim. So, let me show you that first before you do it. So what you do is you come up like you're in locust, and you're just like you're swimming. So everyone ready? Only come up as high as what's comfortable for you. Come up and swim. And release. So from here, we're going to come in to a shoulder stretch. So extend your right arm straight out, and everything's all on the same line. And you just slowly roll. And just roll until you get a nice stretch. And if you only get this far, that's fine. If you need to go farther to get a bigger stretch, go for it. If you want to add a half bow by reaching back, taking the foot or the ankle, if you can't reach that on your own, again, you always have your strap, your towel, getting that set up, and then coming into it. And then release. And now before we go to the other side, coming back onto your back. Now if you can interlace your hands back here and just lift up like this and get a good release, and this is comfortable for you. Otherwise, if you don't have as much flexibility through the shoulders, you can, again, take your strap and up and hold your strap. And then we're going to take this shoulder release on the opposite side. So now extend the left arm out. And again, if you can, take that half bow, but you need your strap. Get yourself set up first, and then coming in to, and again making sure the wrist, the shoulder all in one line, and only roll as deeply as what's comfortable for you into the shoulder. And you can always take a pillow here too, if you want to place your head on a pillow. So it might be more comfortable for people. Alright. Neck up. Just getting that strap out of the way. Taking your knees out towards the edges of your mat. Drawing your big toes together. And just pushing back for an open-legged child's pose. And if you need to take a block here or a pillow and place in your forehead on that for added support. Hi, baby. All right, coming up, we're going to come in to our, it's going to be an inner hip release. So, and for this one, if you have any pressure in your knees and you want to take a pillow and place it underneath your kneeling knee, go for that, because I know this can be kind of hard on some people's knees. So just take this leg out as far as what's comfortable for you. You can take your hands on your hips, or if balance is an issue and you're near a wall, place your hand on the wall for additional support. You can take your hands to the top of your thighs. Now just very subtle breathing here. Remember to keep those shoulders relaxed. Don't want to hunch those shoulders up and cause tension. Keep them down. And release. And then release. And then from here, if you have blocks, you can go ahead and take the block. We're going to straighten our front leg. And if you don't have blocks, you can take a couple of shoe boxes, just put some rubber bands around to hold the lids on, just for additional support. And engage your abdominals, folding forward here from our hips. Just a very subtle opening. And then release, and go ahead and switch sides. Extend the opposite leg out, coming up, finding your balance. And again, if you need to take the pillow under this knee for additional support, comfort, and just lean in here and breathe. Shoulders are relaxed down. And if you need to take the wall for support, you can do that. Hands can go in the hips. Just be mindful of the front knee as well, no pain there. And if you feel tension in the knee, walk the foot out a little farther or back off the stretch. And then from here, go ahead and straighten the front. And again, if you use blocks, or if you have shoe boxes as makeshift blocks, go ahead. And again, engaging the abdominals, moving from pulling at the hip flexors. Release, and so from here we're coming into our regular pigeon. Now, if this hurts anyone's knees, just skip the pigeon altogether. I'm going to show you multiple variations of it. So, first of all, we start. You can just start just like this, just sitting up. If you need to take a pillow, or you know what, let me switch sides so you can see what I'm doing. So, if you're here and you got a lot of open space here and you really don't feel supported, you can take, like how I have my block, you can take a block or you can take a pillow under there and support yourself. And if you're more flexible in this pigeon, you can come down onto your elbows here or all the way forward. And then coming up and just come into pigeon on your opposite side. And again, if you need to take the block or a pillow and slide it under your thigh for some extra support, go for it. And again, you can be on the elbows or all the way down. And then coming up. So if you were not able to do that pigeon just because it was too much for you, while everyone else was doing pigeon, you could do maybe like a seated version of it, and there's a variety of ways to do that. So one, just starting and crossing over just like this. And if you're getting a good release right here, just stay right here. If you want to go a little deeper, start walking your foot up so you're sitting up like this, or another variation would be to either wrap around like this if you can, or you can come underneath like this. So that's something you can do that causes less, I think, less pressure in the knee because you don't have as much weight, and especially this here, if you're just sitting up like this. And the other side. And again, walking it up, going deeper, or taking the wrap or the underarm support. Okay, so from here, we're going to do two different Pilates stretches. So what you want to do is take your legs out just seated, just out to the edges of your mat, sitting up nice and tall. So the first thing we're going to do is the Pilates spinal twist, which in yoga, we move a lot from our lumbar, lower back area. Pilates, the movement is coming more from the rib cage, so the mid back. So from here, sitting up nice and tall, it's like you have a silk cord lifting you up into beautiful posture. Think about lifting all the way up, strong abdominals, strong lower back, and then take your hands right here to your rib cage, because this is where the movement's coming from. So the belly button, the lower portion, all stays facing forward. So here, and it's just very subtle, because this isn't, because of your rib cage, this is you have a lot less range of motion here. So we're just coming in here. Take your hands on your shoulders, come out like this. This is where the movement's coming from, right here at the rib cage. Neck is relaxed. Then unwinding, back to center. And again, you can take your hands to the rib cage. Abs are engaged. Just remind yourself that the movement is coming from the rib cage. And then back to center. And one more time. And then release, back to center. Those abs are engaged. Movement again, coming at the rib cage. And then release. So again, keeping your legs mat width apart, coming into what is called the saw. So again, but this time the twist is, it is bigger. So coming, chest a little bit in the lumbar, arms are extended. It's like you're sawing off the pinky toe, coming up, and 2, 3, 4, and if you can't reach out as far as I am, that's fine. 5, if you're like here, in your saw, that's great. 6, 7, always breathing. 8, 9, and last one, 10. All right. Now we're coming on to our backs. We're going to start with a reclined pigeon. So now we've done 3 different variations of pigeon. Coming onto your backs, go ahead and cross your right ankle over the left thigh. And if you just stay right here, and you're getting a good release right here, just stay right here. If you want to go a little deeper, but you can't reach through like this, again, take your strap, wrap it around your back thigh, and draw your leg in. And if you even want to go a little deeper in this one, you can take the strap around the foot. But remember though, don't curl up like this. You really want to keep the lower back anchored on the mat. The movement's coming from the hips, not the back. So keep the abdominals engaged, keep everything down. And that's an option. Or just reaching through like this. And then release, opposite side. So again, if right here, if this is just good for you, or if you want to reach through, but you can't, use your strap, or you can strap around, deeper here, cross the right leg over the left. And then lift the legs up. And then go ahead. If you can reach down and grab both of your legs, go for it. If you can't, you'll need 2 straps here, but I'm just going to demonstrate with one because I only have one. But you would just go ahead and reach around and then take one on the opposite side and use that to pull. Well, I guess you wouldn't even need it on this side because this is just kind of hanging out because this is where the movement's coming from. So from here, if you wanted one for both, you could. Or you might be able just to reach this one too. Or if you're more flexible, again, you can just hold both legs. And again, keeping the lower back on the floor because the movement's coming. You should be getting a nice release right here in the outer hip flexors. And then just release, unwind, and take it to the opposite side. And again, this may feel completely different. Like one side you might be like, oh, that was so easy and flexible, and then the other one you could be struggling a bit. And again, if you need to throw your rope around you to get a little extra length, and just breathe. And release. Setting up for some bridge lifts. So again, just bringing ankles and knees on the same line. So you don't want to, I know sometimes you may have been taught to draw your heels way in so you can touch your fingertips to the back of your heels. But that only works if you really have really nice long arms. Like my arms are short for my torso. So when I do this, look at my alignment. My ankles are way in, and I don't have that good knee ankle alignment. So I'm compromising my knees by following that supposed measurement that has been taught in the past. So don't do that. Just bring the ankle in line. See, like there's no way for me. So anyway, okay, so you're in good alignment. The knees aren't flopping open, but they're right in line with the hips. Arms can be at your sides. You can extend your arms over your head if you like. So from here, we're just going to articulate our spine up, just like one vertebra at a time. Just peeling up till we're all the way up, just into like a low bridge. We're not coming super high or anything. And then just visualize your vertebra like a strand of pearls, that you're just articulating your spine down like you're setting down a strand of pearls, one pearl at a time. As you lower down, the abs are engaged, controlling the movement with your abdominal strength. And then release and relax everything down. Again, breathe. And just start to tilt the pelvis as you articulate, rolling up one vertebra at a time. Now you won't be able to do that exactly because of the anatomy of our spines, but that's the visual. And then release. Abs are engaged. Pelvis is slightly tucked, not super tucked, just slightly. As you lower down. Just going to do 10 of these. Coming up for 3, pressing your feet firmly into the mat, pressing the weight evenly throughout your entire feet, both sides equally pressing down, and then release down. Coming up for 4. And then release. up. And releasing down. Good. From here, let the soles of your feet come together. Let your knees fall open. And a reclined butterfly, Stipata Konasana. And just gently turning your heads from side to side, releasing any tension in your necks. All right, and then go ahead and draw your right leg into your chest. If you want to just leave your foot, your opposite knee bent with the foot on the mat, that's fine, or you can extend your leg straight out. And just breathe. And then go ahead and take the leg straight up in the air. You can take a hold of the back of your thigh. You can take a hold of your calf. Just never pull directly behind the knee. You don't want to pull on your joints. Or again, if you have your strap, a belt, a towel, anything like that, then go ahead and do that. Drawing the leg in. Here, we're going to do some Pilates leg circles. So, you can do this without a strap, but you just want to be mindful of keeping everything engaged, keeping the abs engaged, so just the movements coming from the hip. And they're just very small. It's like you're tracing a dinner-sized plate, so a circle about that big on the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. 1. Abs are engaged. The only thing that's moving is that leg in its hip socket. Now grabbing your strap, go ahead and place the strap around the ball of the foot, never on the arch. And then keeping your opposite hip glued to the mat, just let the leg fall open to the side. And breathe. And go ahead and release that strap. And we're coming into a spinal twist on the opposite side. So if you take the spinal twist like this, that's perfect. If that's too much for you, you can go ahead and just cross the right leg over the left, taking both arms to a T, and just dropping in like this. This is a lot less pressure on the spine than the full spinal twist. And then release and go ahead and And draw your left leg into your chest. And if you want just to leave the foot just like this, or go ahead and extend it out. And go ahead and take the leg straight up in the air, either reaching behind the thigh or the calf. Never ever behind the joint. Or if you want to take your strap around the ball of your foot, draw that leg in. Just releasing the hamstring. Again, those deep yogic belly breaths. And then release. And then setting up for those Pilates hip circles. Again, think about engaging the abdominals. You want to keep your body as still as possible. The only thing that's moving is the leg and the hip socket. You can go ahead and point the toes if you like. And just visualize yourself drawing just dinner size plate circles on the ceiling. And breathing. It's 3, 4, 5, and then switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, taking your belt around the ball of your foot, avoiding the arch, and keeping your opposite hip glued to the mat. Just drop your leg open to the side as far as you can. And release, setting the strap aside. And we're coming in to our spinal twist. So, again, if you just want to cross the leg over and take this spinal twist just like this. Or full spinal twist. But remember, just keep that opposite shoulder on the mat, because if you let that shoulder peel off like this, you're not really doing anything. So anchor that shoulder down. And then just release, drawing your legs into your chest, taking a gentle rock from side to side. And from here, reaching through, if you can grab the soles of your feet, go for it for happy baby. If not, you need your belt, a couple of towels. Go ahead and take your happy baby. Obviously, you'll need two, which I don't have right here. And go for it. And again, if you want to take a gentle rock from side to side, giving yourself a spinal massage in the happy baby. Or you can stay like this and just gently apply a little pressure, pushing your knees towards the floor, getting a bit of a deeper hip release. And go a little deeper by taking your legs wider apart. You can try to start to straighten the legs here, but just again be mindful. You don't want to overdo it. And then release, roll to one side, and we're going to end in legs against the wall. So I need to clear my props out of the way and move my mat over. It's coming over to your wall. Setting yourself up however you like. If you want to have a pillow under your head, just make yourself as comfortable as possible and just walk yourself as far as you can into the wall. If you don't get your legs all the way up like this because you're too tight in your hamstrings, it's okay to be back and be like this. That's fine. Just scoot yourself as close to the wall as what is right for your body. And then just let the legs be relaxed. Make sure your head is supported. Arms at your sides. Everything is just relaxed. Close the eyes. And just start to let your breath return to normal. But still breathing into your belly. You should always breathe into your belly. So we kind of stop doing that. Some of us do as adults. And just dropping to the floor. Just relax your torsos completely. So the floor is holding you. Nothing to do but just being here and breathing. You may stay here for as long as you like, closing your eyes, closing the door to the outside world, being right here in your own yogic space. Namaste.